Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, and in today's episode we're going to continue where we left off. It was the glow and we need to go through that. Who are we going to fight? What's going to happen? Only the people who have played this game knows. But if you do enjoy this episode, remember to like and subscribe and we'll head into it. I do want to apologize if you do hear a fan in the background. It's because my fan is going super hard, because even though my air conditioner did get fixed this week, it's still so fucking hot here, and for what reason? I live in the Midwest. Why is it this hot? Why is it 70? No, it was like 84 degrees when I walked in my house. Would have said inside my house. Inappropriate. Just really inappropriate, to be honest. Yeah, it is like an entirely different planet. Well, we're gonna hang out, me and you, buddy. We're gonna relax on the wall. The view from the wall during the glow is absolutely breathtaking. The wormhole seems to smother the sky like a swirling jewel-toned bowl pressed down on the gloom. Everything in the wilderness is lit up and seems to breathe in and out of the planet like one living creature made of stars. It's beautiful. You can almost forget how dangerous it is. You can't, because it is the glow. I think these are fine. You head to bed when the siren begins to wail, heralding the beginning of the year's xenofauna attack. Outside the window, you see the soldiers begin to form up. If I could learn to read, it's not that I can't read. I read like 100 books a year. If I could learn to read out loud, it would be the most beautiful gift any god in this world could bestow upon me. Truly. As someone who is an avid reader, who reads hundreds of books a year, let it be known I can read. I just cannot read out loud. This year, Nimi's is heading up her own squad. You see her red hair bobbing along with the others as she rushes to defend the wall. Rush out after her. Nimi looks at you surprised, but nods when she sees you're ready to fight. Someone hands you a pulse rifle and you join her squad at the wall. You stand shoulder to shoulder with Nimi and watch as the xenomass on the far side of the fire break. Look at all of them. Or look at them all. Not all of them, but look at them all, she says darkly. They just keep coming, more and more every year. What are they even waiting for? Why don't they just attack already? She shoots a look at the rest of the squad, all of them Helios, mostly young adults like you, lowers her voice. I just want to get it over with, you know? She confides in you. These Helios learned to march before they could walk. I want to prove I can handle myself as well as they can. She runs her fingers down the barrel of her pulse rifle where she stenciled the name Kombucha. A lowering from the forest draws your attention to the enemy line. The walls of the animals is approaching eerie unison, their footsteps drumming and rumbling tattoo across the ground. Nimi clutches her rifle tightly. Okay, here it goes. The animals approach the wall at a steady pace, but stop short of the wall. Instead, they mill around the outside of the colony near the garrison. In the eerie silence, you hear the sudden crackle of pulse rifle fire and flying creatures falling to the ground. You hear Security Chief Rhett from his post on the wall telling his squad to hold their fire. His voice rings out through the still, expectant air. The Xenos are just standing there. Then, an explosion rocks through the colony and the shockwave hitting you like a physical blow, and then the heat right after, like walking to a wall of fire. You're pelted by debris raining down from the sky. A column of smoke billows from the burning section of the wall near the garrison. From the thick belt of smoke that ripples through the colony, you can't imagine it was on purpose. Nimi recovers first, letting a strangled war cry. Those assholes, she yells. They know our weakest point. How? She gestures to the to the flood of Xenos pouring through the gap of the hole of the wall. There! Protect the gates. Shoot them from the walls. Let me get at least 30. $26. $28. I'm gonna use it on this one. Now, if I trade with this, what happens? 25, okay. And what if I do 28? So that's the 28. 31, okay. There we go, we won. With 3 stars. Plus 1 kudo. The Xenos pour through the smoking hole in the wall, wave after wave of creatures of all size. Fist-sized insects all the way up to megafauna like bush bubs and muckwalkers. Great lumbering beasts, the likes of which you've never seen. The largest one soaks up the gunfire and smashes through the defenders on the ground, while the smaller, faster creatures make for the ship and the geoponic domes. As your squad is getting in the rhythm of defense, Governor Lum storms up the steps. You can see the whites of all around his furious eyes as he grabs both you and Nemi from your shift fronts, almost hauling you off your feet. Which one of you did it? Which one of you set the bomb? It wasn't us, Nemi exclaims, clutching Lum's forearm. Lum releases you with a snarl. It had to be an inside job. Someone with access to Garrison. One of the Exocolonists. You're all traitors to humanity. He looks burned, possibly badly. Parts of his uniform are still smoldering, and you wonder if he and his squad were near the explosion, if people are dead because of it. He rounds on Nemi. Give me command of your squad. I'm taking them down to the courtyard to engage on enemy directly. I took a chance on you, Anemone, but if you can't be trusted just like the rest of them. My squad? Nemi stammers. She looks conflicted. Lum is the governor and outranks her as a soldier, but he's Lum. His name is not Lum. Lum. His plan is bound to be dangerous or even suicidal. The rest of the squad are Helioborn, yes, but they're also just teenagers like you. Don't you need us up here? Oh, that's not her. Don't you need us up here supporting the defense of the walls? Yeah, we're more useful up here. Lum doesn't even look convinced, but your support emboldens Nemi. She stands up straight and hardens her expression. I can't send my people into close combat. We're trained for range defense, not melee. The governor looks at your squad mates, but none of them make a move to follow him. He curls his lip in disgust and stalks away. Your squad stays on the wall, providing range support for the people fighting below. The air is thick with smoke and chaos, but when it clears, you can tell that, against all odds, defenders have regained the upper hand. The courtyard is littered with bodies, human and Xeno both, and in the distance you can see the geoponic domes are shattered and part of the command is on fire. The colony was staggered by the explosion, the attack from within. In the quiet fall of the battle, the colony comes out of hiding to gather in the courtyard, surveying the damage. Governor Lum is on the warpath. I'll find who did it and I'll have their goddamn head. I want every single strato lined up in question. Those are our explosives. I want to know who set the goddamn bomb. You and everyone from Strato are hauled aside and questioned your whereabouts prior to the attack. Everyone that is, except Dis. He's nowhere to be found, dead or alive. Y'all can fucking suck my cock, if I'm being honest. That's just me being honest. What do you have to say? Heard that weird kid's gone. Can't say I liked him much. Too quiet. It's antisocial. If someone is too quiet, they're hiding something. I challenge you, bitch. They suggest a classic Helio test of grit, punching each other in the stomach until one of us gives up or passes out. It builds character, he says, tapping his knuckles, his biceps glisten menacingly. Did any of you ever think of putting a piece of metal under their shirt, though? Clang! Vase punches reverberates through the courtyard, and he yowls and cradles his fist. He's surprised at first and angry at his pain, but when you pull the sheet of metal from your shirt, he bursts out laughing. A win by default. Don't be such a coward, Ophelia. Take it like a soldier. Still, you don't get punched in the stomach, so that's a win in your books. Yeah, I fucking won, bitch. Where did this go? It's supposed to be better than being cooped up. I suppose it's better than being cooped up on a spaceship, she says begrudgingly. It's hot and dirty and it smells bad. And and there's nothing to do. Why? If it weren't for those constant risks we'll all die, it would be paradise. Ugh, I hate this place. Let's get into a debate. Mars would never stoop to using her fists to get her way, but she loves a good fight of nonetheless. You ask her what she would have done differently if she'd been the captain of the stratospheric when you landed, and her eyes go wide. She launches into a laundry list of shoulda wouldas, and whatever she says she would have done, you offer a reasoning for why it wouldn't have worked. After a little while of this, Mars is positively invigorated. Wow, you really thought about all this, didn't you? She says, cracking a little smile. You're totally right. It's a lot more complicated than just making decisions and telling people what to do. Thank you. It's so important to have people like you around to keep me on my toes. She crackles her knuckles. Okay, but when I'm governor, I will do so much better than the adults can. I bet. Hello. Nami watches a squadron of soldiers jog by and makes a face at them. Couldn't be me, they exclaim. I'm just gonna keep on making art and hoping it makes someone smile. That's what I'm good at. Wanna make something? Nami flaps their hand in front of their face. I do, but it's so hot on the planet, don't you think? You shrug. Sure, it's different than living on a climate-controlled spaceship, but you're kind of used to it by now. Nami snaps her fingers. Wait, we should make something to stay cool. You and Nami brainstorm all sorts of weird and wonderful ways to stay cool. Umbrella hats, sunglasses with funny shapes, giant vats of cooling goop, but it all seems too complicated. Eventually, you just end up doodling on some Nami's paper and folding it to make paper fans. Sometimes the best solution is the most simple. They smile, fanning themselves with their new Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transformer fan. What about you? What do I need? Engineering pouring. Well, if it isn't one of Vase's croonies. Okay, well, you can have a hug, at least. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see. Someone had to tell me something that I didn't particularly care to know. Okay, thank you. Oh, there's some wood. A boink. I don't know. We're missing someone. We're missing Nami. What do you have to say? Not Nami, Nimi. Can't talk to her, and there you are. Want to study together? You offered to help Tangent with her schoolwork, but she just shrugs you off. I'm not working on school anymore. Chief Engineer Instant says I'm smart for my age, and my talents are wasted in school. She opens her hollow palm and shows you some of her lab notes. Ugh, it's so much work, though. Honestly, maybe it would be better to be like everyone else. Unintelligent people seem happier. Just then, Nimes jogs by with a squad of soldiers, all marching in time. She gives you a little wave and then cringes as the leader barks at her to keep her eyes forward. Tan shudders. On second thought, forget I said that. I'll keep being smart, thank you. Alright? Being a soldier is the worst, but that's what we are. Okay, our boy is gone. I don't know what we do. I need some more animal. Two birds with one stone. It's a big day, Security Chief Rhett says when you're ready to move on training to act with actual weapons. You start with target practice with a pair of stun gloves, which are, unsurprisingly, gloves that you can deliver an electric current. They're meant to for touch combat, but they can hit targets for a few meters away. They're good for defense because you don't want to be close enough to quarters to use them. It's not like they can kill something like a manticore, but hopefully one good painful zap will convince one to stop messing with you. You burn target dummies for a few hours and learn about how electricity travels different between air, water, and flesh. After a while, Rhett calls Vase over. Vase here has already been through weapons training on board the Helio. Part of his training was to practice on each other, so you can learn what it feels like to shock the living thing, and also what it feels like to be shocked. Ophelia, Vase has volunteered to be your partner for this activity. Wait, you're supposed to use this on each other? You know what? I'll go first. Vase shrugs. Suit yourself. You're getting shocked either way. Vase takes the glove from you and you brace yourself. You don't really know what to expect, but you figure it's probably better than to be low to the ground. Vase sparks the glove. It looks like more intimidating from this side. Ooh! Holy shit, snacking, arsehole shitting, mother of goddamn pearl. It hurts way more than you'd expect. You're in so much pain, but you black out entirely. Your brain doesn't want to remember any of this. You wake up flat on the back, staring up at the sky. Red is looking down at you, concerned. Are you okay, soldier? He asks, taking your forearm and holding you to your feet. Your head spins. It feels like you've been run over by a roboplow. You look like shit. I think you had the settings too high, Vase. Make sure next time you check the intensity before you use them on human. Vase just smirks. I don't think it was an accident. You're both dismissed, Rhett says. You look at him in confusion. Don't you get to shock Vase now? Rhett points you in the direction of the showers. Another day, Ophelia. For now, just concentrate on getting your head right. The fuck? The fuck? What do you mean? That man needs shocked. He just abused me. Ooh, yay, we got animals. Okay, now we have 2 marks on animals, which is good. And now we're going to work on toughness. The investigation into the bomb during the Glow attack continues all month. Governor Lum and his goons can't find a way to pin it on any of the Stratos, and over time, people come to accept that this was probably the culprit. The rumor doesn't make anyone feel better, but it does take the heat off others, including yourself. As usual, for this time of year, your dreams have been more vibrant and invasive. You're trouble distinguishing dreams from reality during the day, and you dread falling asleep at night. Huh? How did a hotbite get in here? Follow it. You chase it out your balcony door and find yourself in a thick wooden path, the mushwood pressing close to your side. The light is weird here, pink, glittering, casting teal shadows. The hotbite disappears down a hole in the ground, and without thinking, you dive in it, squeezing your shoulders to fit through. You tumble into a cave, beautiful and surreal, shimmering with light that seems to come from within. When you take a step forward, granules of pink sand crunch underfoot. The cave opens to a forest that seems lifted from the fairy tale. The sunlight beams through the breaks in the trees, illuminating the path of mushroom-ringed stepping stones that lead you to a small cottage. You spot a hotbite hurrying further down the path. Visit the cottage. This is here. It's his home, you think. He's hunched over a woodworking bench and looks up as you'd call his name. You realize with an alarm that he's working on himself, as if he's part tree. He waves at you with a hand and a small blossom branch. As unsettling, you hurry onward through the door at the rear of the cabin. Too late, you realize the door opens into an empty air and you tumble. You land on a hard-on solid ground. You breath whooshing from you. It's hot here, impossibly hot. The twin suns beat down on you, burning your skin on contact, and the air is almost painful to breathe. In all directions stretch the barren wasteland of dead trees like bones puncturing the dry skin of the planet. You rise from the dusty, cracked earth and begin to walk, stumbling over the bones of unknown creatures. You don't know where you're walking, only that the horizon doesn't change. The red sky just stretches overhead like a great bowl of heat pressed down on you. A great roar shakes you when you turn to see is that chimera? Chimeric nightmare? A manticore, but the Governor Lum's face on how ew. He towers over you from a podium, his claws clacking and his tail thrashing as he proselytizes. We primeval forced felling. We the river stemming, piercing deep in the mines within. We the surface broad surveying. We the virgin soil unheaving. Overhead the sky is streaked with smoke. You hear a rumbling in the distance. Stand to face it. You plant your legs and refuse to look away from the beast. With a yell from behind you, Mars appears, swings a sword made of light at the Lum abomination. Its head rolls across the dirt, but it continues to speak. You turn to the scene and walk away. You turn from the scene and walk away, feeling a memory that clings to you as you push a claw away through to another reality. You stumble forward into the dark, glowing forest. Blessed cool air brushes your cheek, thick with moisture, and makes your face wet as if you've been crying. The path winds forward, flanked by humanoid figures carrying candles. Some are wearing robes, some armor, some lab coats, and envirosuits and formal wear. Some are elderly, some are barely 10 years old. All turn to look at you, and you realize with a jolt, they're you. Every single one of them is you. You see yourself reflected in the eyes that they gaze upon the disappointingly, a line of possibilities stretched out as far as you can see. The Hawkeye crouches between the ranks and gazes solemnly at you as you pass. You walk steadily upward, feeling their unflinching gaze follow you. Overhead, the wormhole hangs in the sky like an overripe fruit, bending the heavy branches of space and time towards you. It's so close, you feel you could touch it. You stretch your hands out, seeking. You wake up. Milky, quiet sunlight pours through the window. Flakes of bromid snow pile up against the glass, and you feel as tired as when you went to bed. It's your birthday. You're 19 years old. Only one more year as a teenager. Lord. Equip an additional gear? My dog. We should buy something. Let's see. It's bravery, 2 times bonus traits. I don't know which one. I'm gonna buy this one. And then let's do this and that. We're gonna work on toughness. What gives us toughness? Oh, I can challenge him again. Oh, Ophelia, you need this? I'm almost done. He tightens his sharp straps on his gloves. Gotta say, peak form. A warrior can't let up for a second. Where defeat lives. Oh, punching back. I challenge you. Vase suggests sharpshooting competition. You, him, and a target that gets farther and farther away. The first person to miss loses. You set up the target and do a few rounds. You evenly match, but the Vase is the first one to miss. You turn to him and shake his hand, but he just scowls. What are you doing? It goes until one of us spells horse. 5 misses shot. 5 missed shots. You shrug and start again until... Did I say horse? I meant Hawkeye. Vase grumbles as he misses his 5th shot. It doesn't matter how long the word gets, though. You win soundly. He's forced to concede that at least today, you are the sharpshooter. Sorry, dude. I'm just better. Can't be helped. Does this give you toughness? This, I mean. Yes, we'll go here. We'll work construction. Mars calls the first meeting of SFC to order with a grim expression. Calls this meeting. I cannot just stand by while Governor Lum ruins everything we've built here. He might know how to hold a gun, but he doesn't know how to lead a colony. From now on, this club is going to focus on getting Governor Lum out of power and getting someone competent in. We have, for now, until V-Fest to somehow convince the other council members he's got to go. I agree. What? Everyone turns to him in surprise. What? He continues defensively. Lum's a jerk. All he cares about is killing animals. It's better for the whole planet if he's gone. But the question is, who would get to replace him? Obviously, I think I'm a great candidate, but I will consider other options. I agree, it should be Mars. No offense, Mars, but you are really gonna stop the soldiers from killing the animals? Look, Cal. I don't want hunters going out and not coming back either. Maybe we can find a safer, more efficient way to deal with animals, yeah? Sounds ominous. Cal doesn't look convinced. Mars gathers everyone close. So the plan is, we campaign in all the departments, geoponics, engineering, garrison, the quarters, exploration, and here in command. Try to soften up all 6 council members and get them on our side. Try to keep this on the down low. Then on the next V-Fest, we surprise the governor with a spontaneous council vote and replace him. We'll never see it coming. Getting Chief Administrator Seek alone is fairly easy. No one wants to spend time with them around them if they don't have to. You explain you're intending to hijack the election of at V-Fest in order to dispose Governor Lum. The more you speak, the more clear the Sikh is already on board. Finally, they say. I was waiting for everyone to realize the imbecile he is. The man barely knows how to read. It depends. You're not the only person with ideas around here. I was planning on making go at Governor myself. They extend their hand to you, rubbing 2 fingers together, unless you can provide significant motivation to throw myself behind your cause instead. The Governor Edict pops her frail head out of behind you, behind one of the high-back command chairs. Obsequious, are you seriously intending to extort the young revolutionaries out of their candy money? Shame on you. Ooh. I think they said yes. Well, for whom are you intending to cast your vote? It better be good. If you don't get majority support, Lum will come down hard on those who are supposed to show disloyalty. He may be an idiot, but he has idiot power. Mars. See, lips curl. Marzipan? Well, I suppose she is a rather cunning politician considering her age. Her materialism is a concern. Very well. I will support her when the time comes, though we'll have to see what the rest of the council thinks, won't we? She can do it. There we go. We wanted toughness, right? Okay. I think we got a spot on toughness. Oh, yes. Update basic cards in Garrison Gym. Update basic cards in Garrison Gym. What does that mean? Oh, visit the gym? Upgrade. Oh, that's cool. We're gonna go look for, I don't know if he'll be in the valley, but we'll forage out there. I don't know if this will be out here. On my look. You managed to partner yourself with the chief surveyor herself in the next expedition. It is a perfect chance to talk to her about Governor Lum but she beat you to it. Ooh, this was easier trekking when we had hover bikes. The villain Lum is using them all to search for aliens now. That's not like finding a needle in a haystack. He sent half the team out to the swamps now. Without weapons, I might add. He's bleeding us dry out here. She scrubs the back of her hand across her mouth. That snack of a man Oh, Not a snack. That's snake. Two different things. The snake of a man thinks every little thing is a war. I don't like getting attacked by animals either, but I sure miss being able to explore the planet without Lum getting his paws over my division and taking my resources for his damn messy war. Funny you should mention. You tell Utopia about Mars's plan to overthrow Lum in the next V-Fest. She seems excited by the prospect. You forget how young she is compared to the other counselors. Sound stellar. The only question is, who do you got in mind to replace? Marzipan. Mars? Really? Isn't she well, she's young. Well, I was only 22 when I became chief surveyor, I guess. It's not too far-fetched. But why Mars? She's gonna do different than the chauvinistic flirt cow. Okay, let me tell you what we'll do. There we go. We won. With 3 stars. You and Utopia set out for a hard day's work surveying. As you work, explain your plan and how Mars will do everything she can to protect V once she's governor. Utopia listens patiently at your pitch at her vote, giving you an ample opportunity to explain your position. By the time the second sun is beginning to set, it's time to head back to transport. You've made a solid ally. Utopia slings an arm around your shoulder as you walk back. Here's a tip. From one young buck to another, don't let anybody ever tell you you're too young. You have been here on V just as long as any of us have. You come across not just one Verki, but a whole swarm of them, mostly just babies about the size of your head. They're all swimming around the massive tree, scurrying up and oh, we already seen this one. They aren't so bad. You walk by the tree and put your hand on it. The baby Verki swarm around the tree trunk, very upset with you, but they calm down when you see that you aren't doing anything. They're almost a good thrum to life under your hand, not just from your proximity of the baby Verki, but from the tree itself. It's warm and leathery, and you can feel something like a pulse. It's alive. It seems as if though the tree itself a Verki, just in a different phase of a life cycle. Does that mean that the little clusters of fruit on the branches of Verki eggs, or maybe cocoons? There's so much you don't know, but you do know that the nursery tree is a special place. There's nothing to forage here, though. These ravenous youngsters have stripped every edible from wide radius. You move on. He's mad. Oh, no, he's not. A Verki blocks your path. It's acting strange. It keeps scurrying up a tree and hanging upside down in different angles to look at you, then drops down when you try to pass underneath. It may be small, but it's at least tempting to be intimidating. You must do something. Approach it. And then the Verki runs up your leg. It's a gigantic spider thing, and it gets weird tentacles and get it off. The urge to dance around and shake it off is almost uncontrollable, but you manage to keep your cool. The Verki tastes you like it's with its tentacle-filled legs, but doesn't look interested in causing you harm. It pokes at your backpack trying to get in, then gives up and scurries off. You decide to take a shortcut through the jungle to a path where sure just up ahead. Now you're lost. Everything looks the same here. The plants are too high, it seems see landmarks, and you swear some of them move around you when you aren't looking. You try to check the position of your hollow palm, but the damn thing isn't working, and you won't connect to long-range communication either. Typical. Utopia did warn you the comms were flaky out here. You think you could tell the north position. Orientate the way out of here. Okay. I'm actually gonna go back. This is the last one up? No, there's two more. Because I think I need to speak to all these people, and I don't want to be super dead tired. I forget when V-Fest is. So I just want to go home. Yes, go home. Okay. Ooh, new perk. Slip past all path blocking exploring vents. Oh. So if I go in here... Does this one give me empathy and reasoning? Yeah, let's do this one. After work at the Chief Integer incidents for a few minutes of her time, she allows you into her office and begrudgingly listens to explain that you and Mars intend to hijack the election of the next V-Fest. When you're finished, she heaves a long-suffering sigh and pinches the bridge of her nose in her finger. Why is the world would I support this plan? We barely survive as it is. Lum is right. The plan is a war with us. Every year, they come closer and closer to annihilation. Is this really the time for dissonance? Instant gestures to office. Every horizon surface covered experiment. He may not be the most suited for the he may not be suited for the job, but do you see anyone else with the time in their hands to run a colony? The idiot is the least damage. Does the least damage where he is, doing busy work and making stupid motivations. What if I can persuade you? Yeah, we're not gonna get it. Okay. $45. There we go. I don't think they stay this, but... There we go. Hasn't survived this long under the hostile regime, but by being soft. It's hard to convince her that you have a chance to outlun, but she does like to win, and she appreciates a good game of 8-dimensional political chess. You win the election, and you convince her you will. She'll be free. Well, it seems that you might actually be cut out for our next governor. You have my support. When you strike a strike, kill. If Lum knows I'm moving against him, he'll put me on the wall. Actually, I want your vote for Marzipan. Insta stares at you for a long time, as if sizing up your metal, calculating, going behind her eyes, and you can barely hope to understand. Good. Tell her she can count on me. Okay. The mom in here. Anne is easy to track down, and she's in the rebuild creche, giving a bottle to one of the new babies. Despite everything, people are still having babies. It's incredible to think. Oh, Ophelia, would you mind passing me a canteen? You and Anne are in the You hand Anne the canteen that had just been out of her reach, and then she juggles the bottle to hold it, and the baby in one hand while she takes a grateful drink. Never enough hands. Someone should figure out how to give us telekinesis. Let's see science work on that. She laughs. What can I do for you, Ophelia? Well, Anne listens to you patiently as you explain the plan to force the vote to the next V-Fest to dispose Lum. When you're done, she sets the bottle down and lifts the baby onto her shoulders to burp. That's quite the plan. You've come a long way from when you were little. I'm proud of you for sticking your guns no matter what happens. Can you count on your vote? Anne makes a thoughtful noise. Well, I'm not one for fighting any war on nature. Honestly, I'm so busy with living quarters in the kitchen and the creche, I barely pop my head outside these days. But I do trust Lum to do what's best for us. He's a little empty on the noggin, but he surrounds himself with good people, and that's what matters to me. The baby lets out a wet-sounding burp, and Anne coos. Great job, good work, better out than in. Well, what do you think others think? If they're on board, I don't mind chipping on a vote. I have 3 votes. Oh, look at you. You're really serious, aren't you? How wonderful to see you all grown up. You'll have my vote, dear heart. You can count on your aunt. Anne, just like always. Yay! Okay, and then yeah, you need a break soon, but we need to talk to Rhett. We need to talk to Rhett. We need to talk to Rhett. Oh. Might just as well do the defense training. It has one smiley face down, and I know Rhett is here. You meet with Security Chief Rhett, knowing he'll be tough sell on the whole political coup business. He sits behind your desk and hands clasped, listening intensely as you explain you and Mars's plan to dispose Lum during the next V-Fest. When you're done, he shakes his head and says back, You're not an idiot, Ophelia. You know what you're asking me to do. Having the garrison on your side would make this a military coup. You learned Earth history. You know these aren't good. Look, why should I support you? Mars is the future of this colony. You're a regular little politician on the campaign trail, aren't you? You have a lot of guts asking me to remove professional soldier from leadership during a time of war to replace him with a child. Why the hell should I go tell Governor Lum right now that you're maturity? What can I say to convince you? 96. No, it won't be the highest. plus 6 if it's the highest. So would we want to do this and this? No, because that's minus 8. Oh, wait, that one's stuck. So we might as well just do that. It's 23 or 23. Yeah, let's just go to the next one. I don't have anything. I don't think I can convince him. Okay, I give up. Get out of my office. You're lucky I don't report you for treason. Well, honestly, it was a long shot. You know you were never going to get Chief Security on your side, right? Forget it. We don't need him anyway. He's too old school. He can be removed next. Fuck me. Does it change to someone else at the watch out? Since this isn't here. No. Okay. Well, we'll do it and get some friendship with Rex. Rex is working on something in his tent. Rex is working on something in his tent. When is it gonna be done? Governor Lum enters the colony square on his customary bombastic fanfare, brass band, red carpet, banner with the Heliopause logo snapping in the hot dust breeze. It's expiring. The governor gets his usual tith of applause from die-hard soldiers, but it's obvious how tired and fearful everyone has become in service of his war. But we're gonna have to see us overthrow the government in the next episode, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this one, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye!